Have you ever asked yourself, why does life feel lonelier lately? But actually more peaceful, if you're 70, or approaching it. This video is for you. Many people think that stopping visiting often means starting to be alone. But there's another truth that's rarely talked about. At this age, we don't lose the world, we start choosing it. Choosing gentle energy, choosing deep relationships, choosing calming silence, and all of that isn't a sign of retreat. It's a sign of wisdom. Imagine a quiet morning, the light streams in slowly. There's no rush. At 70, life is no longer hard, life becomes warm. In this video, we'll talk slowly, without judgment, without intimidation. We'll share simple stories, easy to understand metaphors, and a heartwarming truth. If you find yourself preferring silence, with fewer people, with time alone, you're not alone. And you're not wrong. Turning 70 isn't about loneliness. It's about clarity. It's about peace. It's about living gently. Let's sit together. Let's listen quietly. Because sometimes, the most beautiful answers come in silence. Imagine a quiet morning. Sunlight streams slowly through the window. The air is still fresh. The world is not yet in a rush. At 70, moments like this feel different, deeper, more meaningful. And perhaps, amidst that calm, a simple thought arises. I used to go out a lot. I visited a lot. Now, I'm quiet more often. Then a deeper question arises. Have I changed? Does this mean I'm starting to feel alone? Today, we'll talk very quietly, like two friends sitting side by side. No pressure, no judgment, because the truth we'll discuss today is not a sad truth. Instead, it's a comforting truth. Before we go any further, if stories like these make you feel accompanied, understood, or simply less alone, you can support this channel by subscribing, liking, or sharing this video. This small gesture of support has helped many friends your age in various countries find the same space, a space of calm, safety, and meaning. Now, let's continue with open hearts. At the beginning of this journey, we will understand the first truth, a truth that is often misunderstood, and often makes 70-year-olds feel guilty when it's unnecessary. Imagine life like a long walk through the parks. When we were young, we walked fast, we visited many places, we talked with many people. Energy felt like a straight, endless path. But at 70, our steps slowed, our vision sharpened. We began to stop not because we were tired, but because we began to truly see beauty, a gently falling leaf, a gentle breeze, a bird's voice we once missed. Stopping visiting often doesn't mean we stop walking through life, it means we walk with awareness. Energy is like warm tea. In our youth, we had a large teapot. We poured it without thinking. At 70, the tea was still warm. It was still soothing, but now we pour it mindfully. We know that, if we pour too much out, we'll run out for ourselves. And keeping a cup of tea for ourselves isn't a sign of ego. It's a sign of respect for life. Our bodies often give us subtle signals. In the past, an invitation came unexpectedly, we went immediately. Now, we ask first. Is the chair comfortable? Is parking close? Are there stairs? And it's okay if the answer is maybe another time. That's not rejection. That's self-care. Stopping visiting as often at 70, it's not because the heart grows smaller. It's not because love diminishes. It's not because the world loses its color. It's because energy becomes precious, time becomes meaningful, and stillness becomes a conscious choice. At this age, life isn't measured by the number of places visited, but by the peace felt. One warm conversation is worth more than 10 exhausting visits. One quiet day is more meaningful than a week full of social obligations. And you don't need permission to live this way. You've come a long way. You deserve to rest in peace. If you choose silence today, it's not retreat. If you choose home, it's not defeat. It's a sign that you're finally listening to yourself. And that is the highest form of wisdom. Stay warm. Stay valuable. Next, we'll talk about a very subtle change, but one that has a profound impact on life at 70. A change that's often invisible from the outside, but deeply felt in the heart. Have you ever felt like this? Being around a lot of people, but wanting to leave early. It's not because there's something wrong with them. It's not because you don't enjoy their company. It's because you realize something important. Crowds don't always mean closeness, and at 70, we begin to understand that difference with clarity. Life used to feel like a big, bustling plaza. Everyone came and went. All the voices mingled. Now, life feels more like a small, warmly lit room. There aren't many people in it, but everyone matters. And that's not loss. It's the natural filtering of life. Think of human relationships like the ocean. When we're young, we love big waves, loud noises, a crowded beach. Energy is delightful. But at 70, many people begin to prefer the calm of the sea. Not because the sea changes, but because we change. We want to sit on the shore, listen to the gentle waves, and talk to one person without having to raise our voices. This is where depth comes in. Conversations are like drinks. There are cold drinks that are lively, fresh, quick, full of laughter. There are also warm drinks, slurped slowly, warming, and lingering in the body. At 70, many people begin to prefer the latter. Not because the first is bad, but because the second brings a sense of home. Perhaps you've experienced this. An invitation arrives. The schedule is packed, the place is crowded, and you think, maybe I'd rather enjoy a quiet coffee with a friend. And that's a wise decision. Because now, you're not collecting people. You're collecting meaning. At 70, relationships don't have to be numerous to be meaningful. One deep connection is worth more than 10 shallow ones. And choosing depth doesn't mean closing yourself off. It means opening your heart more honestly. Deep relationships make room for silence together. It doesn't always have to be talking. It doesn't always have to be laughing. Just sitting. Just being present. At this age, presence is more important than explanations. And if your social circle shrinks, remember, the roots of a strong tree don't grow outward, but inward. If today you prefer one honest conversation to many brief greetings, it's not because the world is shrinking. It's because your heart is expanding. Stay calm. Stay connected. Next, we'll discuss something that's often misunderstood. Many people think silence is empty. Many people think being alone is sad. But at 70, many people begin to discover a different truth. That silence is not a sign of losing one's voice, and alone time is not a sign of abandonment. In fact, this is where many people finally truly meet themselves. Have you ever been in a room without any sound? No conversation. No distractions, just slow breathing and a clear mind. When you're young, silence often feels awkward. At 70, silence often feels like home. Imagine life like music. Beautiful notes don't just come from sound. There's space between notes. There's pause. There's silence. Without silence, music would just be noise. So it is with life. At 70, we begin to appreciate pauses. Because it's in the pauses that we can hear ourselves. Silence is like space to breathe. When life is full of noise, our breath becomes shallow. When we make space, our breath becomes long and calm. Time alone isn't about escaping the world. It's about recharging ourselves, so that when we return, we are fully present. Perhaps you've noticed this. In the past, a busy house felt lively. Now, a quiet house feels calming. And when there's no sound, you can actually hear the clock ticking. Or the birds outside the window. It turns out, those are beautiful sounds. Silence isn't loneliness. Time alone isn't isolation. Silence isn't a loss of meaning. At 70, silence is power. In silence, many people find gratitude. They remember long journeys. They accept the past. They enjoy the present. They have nothing to prove. They have nothing to pursue. There is only this moment. And that's enough. If you're enjoying your alone time today, it's not because you're distant. It's because you're finally fully present. Remain calm. Remain whole. Next, we'll discuss the final truth. A truth that isn't harsh. It's not shocking or loud. But it's the most profound. At 70, many people no longer ask, "What else should I pursue?" The question becomes, "What can I accept with peace?" And this is where peace slowly emerges. Life used to feel like a race. Fast pace, one goal after another. Now, life feels more like a twilight journey. The pace slows. The gaze softens. Not because energy is lost, but because many goals have been achieved. Imagine the evening sun. It's not as bright as the midday sun. It's not hot. It's not dazzling, but its color is warm, deep, calming. That's how many people are at 70. There's no need to shine brightly to remain radiant. Acceptance is the twilight. Life is like a long journey with a suitcase. When you're young, your bag is full of desires, hopes, and worries. At 70, many people start to put some of their bags away. Not because they're giving up, but because they realize you don't have to carry everything. And as your bag becomes lighter, your steps become calmer. You may have smiled to yourself. The little things that used to upset you now feel ordinary. And you think, why did I worry so much? That's not regret. That's wisdom that comes late, but just in time. Acceptance is not giving up. Peace is not stopping caring. Slowing down is not losing meaning. At 70, that's the fruit of a long journey. If you visit less often, it's because you value energy. If your social circle has shrunk, it's because you've chosen depth. If you enjoy silence, it's because you've found strength in it. And if you live more quietly today, it's because you've learned to accept. All of that is not loss. That's maturity. Turning 70 isn't about loneliness. It's about clarity, about conscious choice, about living gently toward yourself and the world. If you feel calmer today than you did yesterday, it means you're in the right place in your life. Stay warm, stay peaceful, and remember, your presence, just as you are, is enough. Before this video truly ends, let one gentle question touch your heart. Do you realize that today, you are still here? You can still breathe. You can still hear. You can still feel calm, even though the world outside continues to move fast. That's no small thing. That's a gift, at this age. Life is no longer about proving anything. It's not about being the fastest. It's not about meeting everyone's expectations. Life is now about being. Being still. Being true to yourself. Being at peace with the journey you've been on. Perhaps while watching this video, you smiled softly. Or nodded, feeling, yes, that's me. And if that happens, know one important thing. You are not alone. Many people around the world are feeling the same thing. The same change, the same stillness, and a slowly growing peace. This age isn't about loss. It's not about moving away. It's not about the world shrinking. This age is about filtering. Filtering energy. Filtering relationships. Filtering what truly matters. And when what's left is stillness, it's not emptiness. It's space to breathe. If you'd rather stay home today, it's not a sign of weakness. If your social circle is smaller, it's not failure. If you enjoy alone time, it's not loneliness. It's a sign that you've learned how to live gently. Take a moment. Inhale slowly. Exhale calmly. Let your heart remember. You've been through so much. You've loved. You've fought. And you're still standing today. That's more than enough. If this video has been comforting, or understanding, we warmly invite you to hit the like button, share this video with someone who might need it, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video, and leave a comment, even if it's just a simple sentence. Your comment could be a small beacon of light for others reading. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being here, just as you are. Thank you for being you today. Stay warm. Stay peaceful. And remember, your life, in all its simplicity, is meaningful.